All right, all right, all right. Shoot the Gap coming at you live. The Guts rolling solo tonight, and I'm just going to do a real quick shooting from the hip style, shoot or cease fire on the upcoming games for fantasy football. I'm not going to do the announcer voice. I'm not really feeling it, although this is a very special episode because this is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. All right, first off, we're going to have, this is the Battle of the Birds. So a lot of fun tonight. Battle of the Blades. We have the Arizona Cardinals, Atlanta Falcons. A lot of A bird names. It's a 40 over under. Falcons are 3-point favorites. And, both of these teams are kind of dumpster fires at this point. Hopkins is out. So, you can't start him. Murray's out for the year. I guess you can start James Conner, but that's really about it. And for the Falcons, you have Algier. He's kind of up and coming now, so I would start Algier, and that's about it. That's about it for that game. You can start Koo, and you can start the Falcons defense against the Cardinals. You can stream it, but I wouldn't start the Cardinals kicker. Moving right along, we have the NFC North divisional game, the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. It's a 50-point over-under, and there's just breaking news. Trey Lance underwent a second surgery on his right ankle to remove hardware that was inserted during the first surgery. Experienced irritation because of location of the hardware. Will be on crutches for 2 weeks, fine for OTAs. Really glad I stopped the train for that. Moving right along, we're going to be definitely starting Justin Fields. Cole Kmet, yes. Jared Goff, yes. Amon-Ra St. Brown, yes. DJ Chark if you're nasty. I feel like David Montgomery is startable. And that's about it. That's what I would do. I'm not really trusting Jamal Williams anymore. He got 14 touchdowns this year, but it seems like the steam is all out. You can probably trust neither defense. Now, next up, we have the Denver Broncos or the Kansas City Chiefs. This was supposed to be a really exciting game, but instead, the Broncos are in it. So, obviously, Chiefs, Mahomes, start. Kelsey, start. Butker, start. Defense, start. Shoot, I should say. Personally, I would be starting McKinnon. That's where the momentum seems to be, in my opinion. But I'm kind of detached from this. I would kind of be talking on my ass if I was lying to you. It's a 43.5 over under, by the way. Moving right along, Dolphins at 8-7 playing the Patriots at 7-8. Dolphins are fighting for their lives at this point, and another 43.5 over under. The Dolphins are the favorites. Look, I think the biggest thing about this game is Tua not playing and Ramondre Stevenson being questionable at this point. Brian has Waddle, and I told him he should still shoot on Waddle. He should still shoot on Hill. I think you should still shoot on Ramondre Stevenson, and you should just have a backup plan. I do think you would probably start Damian Harris in this game if Ramondre Stevenson doesn't start. But if Ramondre Stevenson starts, I would actually have a pivot loaded away from Damian Harris. Although I guess, no, you can keep him in case Stevenson gets injured again. No, scratch that. You don't have to have a pivot. You can just shoot on Harris. That's it. I don't really have a beat on which running back is better for the Dolphins. I haven't been keeping track, to be honest with you. But, Mostert's done more in the year. Moving right along, Colts at the Giants. Now, this is a big one because you can start the Giants defense in this game. And Brian has the next two defenses in games. We'll talk about that. Giants, Colts. We're starting the New York Giants defense. Colts, I think Pittman, you can start. That's about it. Pittman's going to be a volume play. I would not start Daniel Jones, and I would be not looking at the wide receiver options for the Giants. And I wouldn't be looking at anything else for the Colts. Moving right along, the Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles, 43.5 over/under. Vegas having a lot of 43.5 over/unders. Saints are 6-9. Nice. Voldemort got all our things out of the way. I don't think Hurts should play this week. I really don't see a reason for them to play. I think that they can beat them with Minshew. And you're shooting on Sanders, you're shooting on A.J. Brown, you're shooting on Olave, you're shooting on Kamara. And that's about it. You can shoot on Hill if you're nasty, but, you're really nasty. Moving right along, we got some nasty games coming up because they're boring. We're going to really breeze through them. Panthers, Bucks. Look, you can shoot on Fournette or Rashad White if you have either of those guys. If you're nasty, I would start DJ Moore, and I would probably cease fire on the running backs for the Panthers because the Bucks still have a good run defense. I would also be shooting on Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and I would shoot on Brady in this game. With the Brady's life on the line, I would bet on him winning. I don't think he's going to crack under pressure against Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers. I mean, for geez Louise, the Bucks even have a better record than the Panthers. Moving right along, the 6-9, that's a 41.5 under over, by the way. The Cleveland Browns and the Washington Commanders, 42.5 over under. Washington favorites, not surprisingly. Brian Robinson Jr. we're shooting on. We are not. If you're nasty, you can start Carson Wentz since they're going to turn his way. I think you can shoot on Curtis Samuel because he did way better when Carson Wentz was on the field. That's a really sneaky play of mine. I feel like that's kind of a hot take. Terry McLaurin, you can start him. You can still start him just because he's a really good wide receiver and he's competent, and I don't mind shooting on him or trusting him to do good for your team in fantasy. But I do think that he did a little better with Heineke in than he did with Wentz in. So do with that information what you will. Browns, Njoku, Chubb, Cooper. I'm not trusting Watson yet. And you probably shouldn't. Moving right along, the Jacksonville Jaguars playing the Houston Texans. The Texans are a league's worst, 2-12-1. But it gets better. Wait, there's more. They're not even going to draft an offensive lineman. Instead, they're going to pay Tunsil too much money. And that's why they're bad. And since they're bad, we're not shooting on anyone on this team. Well, we're going to shoot on Trevor Lawrence, and we're going to shoot on him. We are going to shoot on Zay Jones and Christian Kirk. And the kicker, for some reason, and the defense. We're also going to shoot on ETN. Yeah, it's sad. It's real sad as a Texans fan to look at that. Better days will be seen for the Houston sports fan flag. But just know, there are 2 championships on that Astros thing, and if you don't like that the Astros won the World Series, well, I just have to ask you to suck it, because just like I have 2 fantasy football rings, the Astros now have 2 rings as well, and we're going to try to get a third. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are moving on from Derek Carr. Shoot on Adams. Shoot on Josh Jacobs. Shoot on Daniel Carlson. That's about it. I wouldn't really be looking, whoever quarterback is playing, I wouldn't be looking their way, to be honest. And, I mean, at this point, I just feel like those are the only options that I would really be shooting on. I'm not really interested in the tight end situation. 49ers, shoot on Metcalf, shoot on Kittle, and probably shoot on Brock Purdy at this point. I feel like we're just shooting on him, and shoot on Ayuk too. Just shoot on those guys. Next up, we have the Jets and Seahawks. This is a pretty interesting game. Both of these teams better than we thought they were going to be, but not as good as we thought they were, potentially going to be in the beginning of the season. Both at 7-8. The Jets are fourth in their division, even though they've showed promise this year. The Seahawks are surprisingly second in their division, where the Cardinals and Rams seasons both failed. Geno Smith shooting on, DK Metcalf shooting on, Wilson shooting on. Mike White's going to play this week, shoot on him, and probably shoot on Knight. I would shoot on Bam Knight, hot take, and that's about it. That's about it. I wouldn't really be looking for kickers or defenses in this game. It's 44.5 over under. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. 45-point over under. Vikings most likely going to win this game. Cook, we're starting. Justin Jefferson, we're starting. We're shooting on. Motherfucking, what's his name? Can't believe I'm forgetting his name, but that's the fucking tight end. Man, this is going to kill me. This is going to make me look really bad. He was in the same draft class as Noah Fant, and he was TJ Hawkinson. He was originally on the Lions. TJ Hawkinson. We're shooting on TJ Hawkinson. Put some respect on TJ Hawkinson's name, damn it. Come on now. Anyways, we're shooting on Lazard. We can shoot on Rodgers in this game, hot take, and we can shoot on Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. Also hot take, I think. Not starting either defense. Moving right along. Los Angeles Rams, Los Angeles Chargers. Can't believe that the Chargers are now the cool team in LA. But their uniforms are both really cool, in my opinion. I like the Rams uniforms. And I like the Chargers uniforms too. But I'm mad that Mike Williams and Keenan Allen aren't more consistent for fantasy. But I'm shooting on Mike Williams. We're all shooting on Eckler. Eckler's getting a big old load on him. And we're shooting on Herbert. He's getting the tallest guy in the league amount of shooting on. We're starting Cam Akers. And yeah. That's it. We can shoot on the Chargers defense too. Moving right along, Steelers-Ravens. Ravens are second in the AFC North. Steelers are third. Steelers just fighting to remain mediocre, and we're shooting on Najee. We're gonna probably, that's about it. We're shooting on Mark Andrews. That's probably about it. And motherfucking I'm just not really excited about this game. This game doesn't hype me up. It kind of fucking bores me, and I just want to move it along from it. But first, a word from our sponsor.
High Volume Music Radio, the pride of Sunnyside, with shows like Rock and Roll Radio, Bring Back the A-Track, The Brown Sugar Express, and Blame It on the Boogie with Aunt Boogie. Log in now at highvolumeradio.com. And remember, if it ain't high volume, it ain't loud enough.
Now back to Shoot the Gap.
All right, and we're back. Last game, Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals. The most exciting game by far of the week. Really cool uniforms, cool quarterbacks, cool wide receivers. Cool tight ends, cool defenses, cool kickers. Really, the only thing Bills don't have is a cool running back. Otherwise, this would be the coolest, the perfectly cool game. Joe Mixon, way too early, 2023, my guy. I'm calling him. None of you guys can have him. And if you guys had him before me, fuck off. He's mine now. Joe Mixon, my guy, forever. Joe Burrow, also my guy now, forever. And Josh Allen's still my guy forever. we're shooting on all of those guys. Gabe Davis, we're shooting on. I can't believe I'm saying that. Diggs, we're shooting on. We're shooting on Jamar Chase, and we're shooting on T. Higgins. T. Higgins actually was a better wide receiver 2 for his team than Davis was this year. How crazy is that? So moving, I should have. That's the way I should have done it. We're shooting on both kickers, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're shooting on both defenses because, we're not, because I couldn't believe. I thought about it, but then I said it out loud, and I was like, no. So there you have it, and that does it for that. We're done, people. I love you. Be like Abel, not Cain. Put your best fruit forward because the Lord's going to judge it. And hopefully you win. Thanks, guys.